Even as politics erupts around the Saif Ali Khan stabbing, today for the first time we have the actor's own account via a police statement about what happened, how the attacker that came into his and Kareena Kapoor's home came to stab him 6 times. I'm Barkha, you're with the Mojo story. Our focus today on the Saif Ali Khan stabbing looks at the actor's own chilling testimony. He describes in a police statement how he and his wife Kareena Kapoor Khan were woken by the sound of both their nanny and their younger son screaming. According to this police statement, as Saif Ali Khan rushed into his son's room, he encountered the attacker. His first task, he said, was to try and save his son, and when he confronted the intruder started stabbing him with a knife. Saif Ali Khan's police statement also talks about how he locked or tried to lock the intruder into a room, and at that time the nanny Ilyama, Philip, and the son Jay and the rest of the family were able to escape to a different part of the house. Now remember, Saif Ali Khan's testimony comes as at least two members of the Maharashtra alliance, the ruling alliance, Sanjay Nirupam and Minister Nitish Rane, have questioned the facts as they've been presented. Mr. Rane actually went so far as to suggest that Saif Ali Khan was lying. His exact statement was he stabbed or was he acting? And Sanjay Nirupam too, in a separate interview with us and many other media interviews, says if Saif Ali Khan was so grievously stabbed, how was he back on his feet so soon? So there is politics, there is skepticism being expressed. The lawyer for the accused has today given a statement saying that the man arrested does not match the image of the man caught on CCTV. And you now have a whole host of noisy media questions along with noisy politics coinciding with Saif Ali Khan's own very chilling testimony. To try and make sense of all of this, let's introduce our very special panel today. We're looking at both the politics as well as the contradictions, as well as the public perception. Dilip Cherian, political analyst, Brian Guru, image consultant, is with us. Good to have you back with us, Dilip. Also joining us from the Shiv Sena, the Eknath Shinde group, is advocate and politician Sushil Vyas. Good to see you, Sushil ji. Namaskar. Also joining us is veteran IPS officer Amod Kant. Good to see you, Mr. Kant. Welcome to the program. And also joining us is Congress supporter and Mumbaiker himself, Sanjay Jha. Welcome everybody to the program. I want to actually start with you, Sanjay Jha. The fact of the matter is that this is your city, and in your city, it looked as if the Mumbai police had cracked the case. But we have two prominent politicians, the state minister and Sanjay Nirupam, both questioning whether all of this happened as has been suggested. And now we have Saif Ali Khan's own testimony, where he talks about being woken up by the cries of his younger son screaming for help alongside his nanny. What do you make of what is being suggested here, that there are incomplete spaces in this narrative?
Barkha, good evening, and to all my fellow panelists as well. As we all know, Barkha, I think politics has a huge dose of entertainment, and entertainment has a massive dose of politics. So I think they are both inextricably intertwined, if I can use that cliche. But go back to two incidents that one can talk about, since I live in Mumbai and I know how popular the Bollywood film personalities are. Go back to the Sushant Singh Rajput case, which we all know became into an extreme vulgar voyeurism and a political hot potato preceding the Bihar elections. Look at the entire arrest and the drama, which was the periphery and the hullabaloo around Aryan Khan, Shah Rukh Khan's son. In all these cases, you find that the police, the Mumbai police, or any of the prosecuting or investigation agencies came a real cropper and damaged their reputation. Now, in this case, I'm glad you asked me that question, because I have been traveling and I caught up with this whole issue when I returned. Firstly, it deserves to get the attention because Saif Ali Khan is not just an actor. He's a very popular film personality. His better half is an equally well-recognized actor as well. And, his father was the captain of the Indian cricket team for decades on end. So we are talking about a very well-known, respected celebrity being attacked at his home. And I think at the moment you look at Rane or Mr. Nirupam making these comments, you realize that politics has really got itself forcefully infiltrated into this entire investigation. If I don't want to even quote some of the horrific comments made by Mr. Rane, who's a minister in the BJP government, extremely
Mhm.
provocative. Um, I think he's got several FIRs against him. And obviously, Mr. Shinde's government and now Mr. Fadnavis's government have done nothing to even file a charge sheet. So I don't want to comment on what Sanjay or Mr. Rane have said. But the truth
Mhm.
is that the people of India will lose confidence in our, what I call as the system of governance, if they find that celebrities who are internationally recognized, national icons of sorts, when they have a horrific attack, I mean, an attack to murder happening to Saif Ali Khan at his home is not just another episode. It's a very frightening example to an ordinary citizen in Mumbai and the rest of the country as to how vulnerable we are. If you now find that there are even after days, there is no clear answer as to whether the person arrested is the person accused, rightfully or wrongfully so. Is there any transparency in the way we discuss these matters? I also feel that where Saif Ali Khan is concerned, Barkha, he's a well-known actor, he's a public face. For him to have walked out with all the bravado and the fact that nothing happened to him, it may be medically possibly real that the recovery or the recuperation has been quick. It was perhaps not the right statement in terms of what I call as the message to the people at large. I mean, he should be aware
Explain,
people are.
explain that. Explain that. Explain. Can we go back to the video of where Saf actually walks out of his house? We have a video of that also. If we can play it, explain why you think it's not the right message.
I'll tell you why. Because there was a lot of concern about his health. This grabbed the
Mhm.
national attention, I think, quite rightfully so. But at the end of the day, it's a very private matter. The fact that he went to the hospital, went through an apparent surgery, and he's recovered is excellent news. But I also feel that actors are so compelled to be constantly in the public eye that they sometimes fail to draw a line between what I call as a certain probity versus what I call as propaganda or publicity. I feel Seth, being a pretty seasoned fellow who is not on social media, keeps a generally low profile, should not have exposed himself to what I call is such a public demonstration of his quick recovery as a
Hmm.
very macho actor who's made a remarkable comeback, because that gives people an unnecessary reason to start speculating as to what really transpired before. And you can't blame either the media or, for that matter, even politicians to take cheap pot shots to say, well, what really happened? Because such recoveries are quite extraordinary, and it's possible that it happened. Medical science and medical technology has now reached a very advanced level, so possibly he has recovered well. But you do allow people to begin to speculate, which I think was something unnecessary. If just say, for example, had driven home in his car and kept a low profile on this, just sent out a message that I'm doing well and I'm at home, I think none of this dramatic, what you call as hullabaloo that is going on would have really happened. So partly even he's responsible for encouraging this conversation, which I think is, frankly speaking, very puerile and pedestrian.
Okay, before I come to Sushil ji of the Shiv Sena, I want to actually play out what both Mr. Rane and Sanjay Nirupam have been saying. Is this the official position now of the Shiv Sena Shinde group? Is this the official position of the BJP? We're hearing multiple different voices. Take a look at what Mr. Rane actually said.
बघा त्या बांगलादेश पहिले काय करतात त्या मुंबईमध्ये त्या सैफ अली खानच्या घरात घुसले म्हणजे नालायक बघा किती आहेत पहिलं फक्त नाक्यावर उभं राहायचे आता घरात घुसायला लागलेले आहे कदाचित त्याला घेऊन जायला आले असतील हे घाण लेकी जाऊ म्हणतात जायला तो एवढा तो असा बाहेरून चालत होता मलाच संशय राहिला का घर चाकू मारला की ह्यांनी कुठेतरी असंच ऍक्टिंग करून बाहेर निघाला असं टुन करून असतंय ते पण आजूबाजूला बघा जेव्हा कुठल्या खानवर त्रास होतो कुठला शाहरुख खान असेल सैफ अली खान असेल बघा सगळे कसे टिवटिव करायला लागतात पण कुठल्या हिंदू कलाकारावर कुठल्या त्या सुशांत सिंग राजपूतवर काय झालं तो तुझा मुंबराच्या जितो नाही आला बिळाच्या बाहेर ही तुमच्या बारामतीची ताई नाही आली तेव्हा बाहेर तिला बरोबर सैफ अली खानचीच चिंता आहे, शाहरुख खानच्या मुलाचीच चिंता आहे, नवाब मलिकचीच चिंता आहे. कधी कुठला हिंदू कलाकारची चिंता करताना ऐकले? या गोष्टीवर तुम्ही लक्ष घाला.
You only care about the Khans and not when Hindus are under threat. What about Sushant Singh Rajput? I'm just paraphrasing there, also suggesting that Saif Ali Khan was acting. Sanjay Nirupam did not go so far, but he also said that there were many unanswered questions. Is this now the official position, Sushilji, of the Maharashtra ruling alliance? And if so, are you not also casting a doubt on everything the Mumbai police has said so far?
Barkha, what Mumbai police is doing, we admire that, and we are strongly standing behind the Mumbai police, what efforts they are making to find out the real truth behind this entire episode is. And whatever investigation till now they have done, they are going in the right direction. They have arrested the accused concerned. They are progressing in the matter. Statements are recorded. Even that weapon is also partly which was there recovered. So Mumbai police, as far as Maharashtra government is concerned, all allies parties are strongly behind Mumbai police force, and we admire them what they are doing right now. And in our collective view, the investigation is progressing in the right direction. And whatever respected Sanjay Nirupamji said and the Minister Nitesh Rane said, maybe their personal view. It's not the view of official Maharashtra government.
So so you do not agree with what either Rane or Sanjay Nirupam have said?
Definitely, personally, how can Mumbai police is doing such a great job? How can we demoralize them? They are doing a very good job, and we must appreciate their efforts. Within 3 days, they have arrested the person concerned from that remote area of Thane, and they are investigating. They are recording the statement. They have recorded the weapons, etc. They are progressing in the matter.
Okay, so I think the official. Okay, so you believe that the statements that are expressed by both of these politicians are their personal opinion. Sanjay Jha, if you want a 15-second response to that, and then I'll get Amod Kant and Dilip Cherian. Sanjay Jha.
Yeah, I think my simple response to that, Barkha, will be that, these are very irresponsible statements. If Mr. Vyas says that, such outrageous comments should not be made on the Mumbai police. But the truth is, Barkha, is the reason why today you find a lot of conversation on social media and outside happening on this episode or this very violent attack is because there is low credibility of the Mumbai police. Now, you've seen that end of day, a very, very well-known leader was killed the other day. He was assassinated. And you find that there are so many loose ends that the police never seems to be making a disclosure on. The job of the police is to engage with the media and the public directly. Have I seen a condemnation of what Mr. Rane and Mr. Nirupam have said from the Chief Minister? No. And don't forget, this is the same Saif Ali Khan and his family who flew to Delhi to be in a photo op with the Prime Minister himself. So when it comes to using the Bollywood for photo ops, the heavyweights of the BJP and their allies are right in the forefront. When there is a serious attack on an actor, you find the entire political system goes silent. And truly, Mr. Rane is making an accusation against the functioning of the Home Ministry under his own government. And somebody should own up and explain that. I mean, how can today anybody from government say that Sanjay Nirupam, who's a member of the ruling party, is quiet on this matter when he's making allegations against the Mumbai police, which reports to the government?
Okay, I will get Mr. Vyas to respond to that later. Hang on, Mr. Vyas, just want to let our other two guests also speak. Amod Khan, Sanjay Jha says that the Mumbai police should be much more forthcoming, much more transparent. In fact, today the lawyer, and we'll play that clip out just after you and Dilip speak, the lawyer for the accused has questioned or challenged the face of the CCTV being the face of the man who's been arrested. If as this goes to court, forensic labs will have their own role to play. Do you believe that the police should be communicating on specifics that are now being raised in the media, in the public domain? Who was actually in the auto rickshaw that took Saif Ali Khan, for example, to the hospital? There's been confusion from the first day. First, it was described to be Ibrahim, his eldest son. Then it was Ibrahim and his younger son, Taimur. Today, there were reports that it was his friend. Then his friend came forth and said, no, I went directly to the hospital. So there's a lot of missing information that the public is then, not that they should, the public and the media are feverishly speculating on.
No, actually what happens that in such cases, high profile cases, a lot of these things happen. I would not say that
Yeah.
the police is not supposed to report back. Police, the investigating officer or the senior officers who have their brains intact, who have to maintain the balance, they are
Hmm.
expected to keep the media and the people at large informed on the certain basic things. But what they are not supposed to inform, they should never inform, because in all these cases that kind of things come. For example, you refer to this photographs. uh, for a common person also, if you look at the two photographs, they appear to be different. The video
The
clip,
photographs of the CCTV. Can we go
that's
back to
correct.
those? Yeah, here.
Yes, yes. I
Do
mean,
they look?
see,
Do they look different to you, sir?
decidedly they look different. They don't look alike by any standards. They look quite different, actually, both of them. But then that is not
Hmm.
the issue. I'm not concluding at all, because there is a very clear cut forensic method. There are scientific investigations which can very clearly compare the two photographs and give a decisive judgment. There is a method of
Hmm.
forensic photograph examination and comparison. It can be done. We did it in Rajiv Gandhi assassination case long back, when Dhanu killed herself, killing Rajiv Gandhi.
Yeah.
That time it is based on the photographs that we identified Dhanu in from previous photographs. I see no reason why Bombay police can't do it, and they must be doing it, I am sure.
But
That's a
when
very
you, as a veteran IPS officer, you say that to your eye, the man arrested. Could we play the picture again? When you say that decidedly the CCTV, the man on CCTV, let me just correct that, the man on CCTV and the man arrested look different. And you're saying this is a very experienced IPS officer. Common people will speculate even more.
no. See, when you look at when you compare two photographs, then
Yeah.
you compare certain kind of points. There are specific points on the faces, specific point on the photographs, which can be seen visually, but which can be decisively explained through forensic examination. The
Hmm.
forensic photography identification examination is a very established kind of scientific method, and I think Delhi, Bombay police must have done it. But more importantly, let me clarify the mistake, where the mistake lies. Actually,
Hmm.
none of these photographs should have been given out in the media. It is not proper at all, because
Really?
the
Ah.
identification of
Hmm.
prisoners act very strictly prohibits it. Because once you give out a photograph in the media, what happens to the witnesses? See, the witnesses can't examine. This problem we have always faced, and this problem comes in
Hmm.
the high profile cases. I have faced it in Jeska Lal case. I faced it everywhere in variety of cases which I have done. But then the
Yeah.
issue is that deliberately giving it out to the media and realizing both the facts. I mean, the details could have been given, the name could have been given, the methods followed could have been given. It is something very appropriate to say that this third part of that knife, they could recover, let's say, within 1.4 kilometer of that scene of crime. It's perfectly in place. It's perfectly in
Hmm.
place to give other details. Now, for example, the family members and the father of the so-called accused, now the person who has been arrested from Bangladesh, he is making statements. I'm really surprised about it.
Correct.
One more
Yeah, the
point.
father is saying ये मेरा बेटा है ही नहीं, उसकी तो लंबे
Correct.
बाल ही नहीं
No,
है, so on,
no,
but
one
the father will say that,
no, one
right?
more very important point for all the people sitting here, I would like to clarify. See, Lalit Makan Arjun Das was killed, and the same killers had killed ultimately General A.S. Vaidya. If you recall, Barkha, you were the crime reporter, you know it very well. One person was arrested by Ranchi police and who declared
Hmm.
that he was the killer. There are people, there are people who come out themselves and say in big cases that they are the persons who have killed. Another very important point, if you recall, in several cases it has happened. There was a witness, a very notorious witness. The case again, you know so well, NDTV was involved, in which he posted himself on the scene of crime in BMW, this thing, Nanda's case, remember? And then
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
became a point of controversy. Till now, the case is going on in the courts, because Supreme Court of India, High Court, everybody commented on it. So there are
Yeah.
umpteen examples where wrong people are arrested, where wrong people are presented. But the fact remains that I would like to talk that even if it is a big case, Rajiv Gandhi case and variety of cases we did, see, you should think of the person and the situation like an ordinary case. You
Let me
have to
ask you
prove the
this.
case.
Let me ask you this before I go to Dilip and also play out the lawyer's statement. When you say that to your eye, your trained eye, your eye is not untrained like me or the others here, that the man on the CCTV and the man arrested look different, do you believe that the Mumbai police could have made such a big blunder? Or do you believe that it looks different to us? It doesn't mean it is different.
See, the Bombay police could have told it could have told it only after the Bombay police had confronted the second person with the witnesses. Without, I mean, it is wrong. Let me inform you. There is another legal catch into it, which others may not understand perhaps, but I have to explain. It goes without saying that in majority of cases where a witness is found or an accused is found in high profile cases, they are confronted unofficially and the witnesses are shown, because ultimately that person has to be produced before a magistrate or somewhere for test identification parade. It's a very crucial evidence required because ultimately the witnesses have to identify. I am not aware whether Delhi police confronted the second gentleman, the second person, with the
Mumbai
witness.
police, the Mumbai
I have no idea.
police. Yeah.
Sorry, Bombay police, whether they
Hmm.
did it or not. If they have done it, and if witnesses have said that he is the person, people like me, ordinary people, need not comment on it. So these are all
Yeah.
facts of the investigation. But I would like to go along with Bombay police, except making a statement that they need not and should never give information which in any way is disclosing the facts which are crucial for the investigation. But then they have to keep things under wraps. They are not supposed to give
Yeah.
out everything. So this is something very
Yeah.
important because, and the
So this
witnesses,
is, yeah,
one more
yeah,
point,
yeah.
Barkha, the witnesses, the most
Yeah.
important people, it is still not clear. It is still not clear whether Kareena was there on the scene of crime. What was her conduct? That's very important. That's very, very
I mean, the
important.
police statement by Saif Ali Khan says Kareena and I were woken up by the sounds of our son crying, our nanny screaming. This is what the police statement, as reported in the media. Once again, Mr. Khan, there have been lots of things reported in this that have had to be later corrected, updated, uh, contradicted. And so, Dilip, I want to bring you in on that note, right? To me, it is quite significant that a person, a police veteran like Amod Khan says, he thinks to his eye, the man on CCTV and the man arrested are look different. I'm not saying they are different, look different to him. That's what the lawyer of the accused has also said today. He's also saying these pictures should never have been in the public domain. Witnesses could drop by the wayside. The case could collapse before it starts. Sanjay Jha, not a fan of the government, but says that Saif Ali Khan probably made an error in kind of just coming back home but not really talking to the press, therefore leading to more feverish speculation. But maybe he was just trying to give the paparazzi a few photographs and they wouldn't have gone till he did. I don't know. What's your take on everything that's happened in the last few hours?
You know, Barkha, let me start at the top. There is this wonderful enthusiasm to shower economics on both the police and the army across India and across media at all times. It's wonderful. We should support them. They're doing a great job. They're facing such uphill tasks. Assess each issue on its own. Where Bollywood is involved, there is an equal enthusiasm on the part of both media as well as police to opt for one or the other route. Media will inevitably, for reasons of TRP, try and milk it for what it is worth, saying the public deserves to know. As Mr. Khan said, the public does not understand, cannot know, and even seasoned police officers can be mistaken because they're not technologically equipped to do what needs to be done. Second, I think that the politics of it is there are two kinds of politics playing out. One is the Hindu Muslim part, and the other is opposition versus government part. Now, I think on that, we are very clear that the public does not believe the politician. Let's be very, you can see that in the social media commentary, you can see all the commentary. They just don't want to take sides with any politician. Number three, as far as Saif is concerned, and as far as his statements are concerned, and Kareena's statements are concerned, if these statements need to be in the public domain, somebody is leaking them. And the likelihood is that the mechanics or the people manipulating the media around stars are possibly one source of it. But equally, we have seen in the past over the years that there will be sources within the police who are also leaking chosen parts of these bayans. The contradictions that we are analyzing may not actually exist because we don't have the access to
The
the full
full,
text.
the actual. We have only leaked
Yeah.
text. Yes. Yes.
And the only thing that we actually have access for is what is on your screen now of what the doctors spoke about. Now the doctors
Yeah.
are specialists. They are not acting with bias. They may be acting with a bit of star dust in their eyes, but other than that, what they're saying is actually true. So I think that we need to, as far as Saif is concerned, and as far as Kareena is concerned, I don't think they need to quote paparazzi at this point of time for professional enhancement. So, what are they doing? Someone needs to tell them to get off the cameras or to make sure the cameras don't capture them at this point of time till matters are sorted out.
Okay, so to that extent, you tend to agree with Sanjay Jha on that last point, that this was not the moment for Mr. Khan to wave to the cameras, because then the cameras have
Absolutely.
questions. The people behind the cameras have questions, and those questions are not getting answered. Or just do one press conference and say what you have to and be done with it, or release a written statement, say something, because what we're getting right now about their testimony is from leaked accounts. Before I come to Sushil and Sanjay, I want to play out what the lawyer for the accused is raising. He's going to raise this in court. That's not me. That's what the lawyer for the accused is saying. The police said that the man arrested had confessed. His lawyer is challenging that now and saying that's not the guy. Take a look.
Today, the police has come forward with the police custody of the accused. We have objected to the length. Already, the investigation has been done regarding the weapon and everything. Everything has been done. It has been clearly stated in the court that the investigation related to the accused is over. Therefore, further police custody is not required. The investigation regarding the inquiry and the CDR and other things for which the accused custody is not required, which has been submitted before the Honorable Court. Then afterward, to that aspect, the certain point has been raised by the public prosecutor in regard to the weapon recovery, how he has obtained, that has been raised, for which the police custody has been granted.
You have shown some documents that face is not matching.
Face is not matching, the face structure is totally different from the present accused.
Sir, हिंदी में जानना
The face structure is totally different from the man arrested. Now, this is obviously, Sushilji, you are not just a politician, you're also a lawyer. This is going to be there, how they will build their defense. And Amod Kant is saying too much is leaked in the public domain for witnesses to even necessarily stand their ground. This case may not therefore hold up in court unless witnesses themselves are willing to endorse that this is the, well, actually, Saif Ali Khan has to say, is this the same man? First, Mr. Khan himself has to testify. Your take on all the doubts that have been raised here, and Mr. Amod Khan saying that these pictures should never have leaked into the public domain at all.
To an extent, I fully agree with Amod Khanji. He was a senior IPS officer. He knows better than what we can say. And then just now, you played that reel of a lawyer on behalf of accused who appeared before that remand judge. And he said, I argued this, I argued this. Then the fact remains, even after arguing all those points, the learned judge has granted the police custody. That means
Correct.
the learned judge was not agreeable with what arguments placed before the court. So
Yeah.
let the police investigate the matter in the manner in which BNS has provided. That is, the BNS is a new law which was enacted after 1st July 2024. So let it be. So let police give a free hand in investigation.
As an experienced lawyer, are there any things that concern you? Are there any unanswered questions for you?
Primarily at this stage, no, because police is moving in the right direction, as I initially said. They are doing well. And what remains, about the attack is concerned, attack was there. He was taken to the hospital. Surgery was there because that well-known surgeon of Mumbai, neurosurgeon Dange himself, who operated came on TV and he said immediately, not next day, not after 2 days, immediately after the surgery being over, in the same attire, he came before the media and he said that I operated him. So what remains to be seen about the factual position of the event. This unfortunate incident being taken place. So let the police investigate in their free way, and I only hope people should not politicize this for their own reasons.
Let me put that to Sanjay Jha. Sanjay, you've accused the Shiv Sena and the BJP of politicizing. They've accused your side of politicizing. They say that the fact that this man is an illegal Bangladeshi exposes the sort of woke politics of the opposition. They were suggesting this was a hate crime because of, Saif Ali Khan being Muslim or his son being named Taimur. And they've turned the tables back on you. That's the way the political discourse is going. You would say what?
Barkha, I would just tell Mr. Vyas, who comes across as a very reasonable person, is to speak to his own party men in government, because they are the ones who are making these acquisitions. And if you listen to Mr. Rane's speech, I mean, it's got a clear communal complexion. So clearly there is some political targeting going on, and there is going to be an attempt to polarize any situation, to make one community look as bad and as miserable as possible. But I think there are 2 points here that are very important. One is, and I'm very happy Dilip and I are on the same page here. Whoever is the publicist advising the Saif Ali Khan and Kareena, they should tell him this is not the time to be flamboyant. This is not the time for that muscular hero image brand building. I mean, there has been an attack on his life, for God's sake. This is a time for privacy. Be conservative. There is an investigation on. There is a national spotlight on you. Do not add an unnecessary twist to the tale by making this into some kind of a private profile creation. And my second point will be that I think the tragedy, Barkha, and I say so as a citizen of Mumbai, is that the credibility of the local police, no matter how hard they try, is unfortunately not very high. And I think Mr. Kant will probably agree with me, because, you have Mr. Mukesh Ambani's, that whole case involving the police who were involved. And it was so seedy and sleazy, and the world saw it for themselves. And I think the ordinary people of Mumbai, and I think across the country, believe.
Why do you feel the police has? Why are you faulting the police? Be defined in one line, then I'll come to Dilip. I saw his hand go up. What are you faulting the police for? Be specific.
Well, I'm faulting the police for the fact that there is a perception, and I think it's very valid, that there is one law for the ordinary citizens of the country, and another law for the rich and famous. And transparency.
That's been true. That's been true for time immemorial across parties, right? That's been true for time immemorial.
I will agree with that. I'm going to be very bipartisan in that comment. It applies to.
But you're not faulting them for the investigation. You're not faulting them for the investigation. So
I am definitely faulting the police for not communicating in a transparent fashion with the public and media at large. Mr. Kant has got a point here. You don't have to make, a complete disclosure of your likely, prosecuting issues. But you've got to be able to also communicate with people, because then they will believe you. Otherwise, you are allowing the entire conversation to be manipulated by vested interests.
Okay, Dilip wanted to come in, and then Amod Kant. Dilip?
Comment at that point of time, very briefly, was that both Mr. Vyas and Sanjay can't also be faulted for making or being asked to make comments on this, because at this point in time, everybody is trying to trend jack this event, which has got public attention. It's got wall-to-wall attention right across all.
Look, in defense of the media, it's got crime, politics, and movie stars. I mean, anywhere in the world, the intersection of crime, politics, and movie stars cannot be ignored.
And cricketers, Barkha.
And cricketers, correct. So, and royalty. I mean, like, we can keep adding on here, right? So, and the hot potato subject of migration. सब कुछ तो है story में. तो कैसा इसको ignore करेंगे कोई media? But Dilip, before I give Amod Kant the last comment, you and Sanjay have both made this point about a kind of a poor move by Saif in those very flamboyant pictures as he came back home. Maybe he was very innocently trying to tell everybody, I'm okay now, guys, go do your thing. But it led to many more questions, unfortunately. If you were advising Saif and Kareena right now, what would you be expecting them to come forward and do a press conference? For example, one of our very regular viewers, Prasad, says, it's clear that the accused was with the Khan family for an hour. They should be able to identify the accused more than easily. So a lot hinges upon the legal identification. So should Kareena and Saif be coming forward and doing a press conference that sets to rest some of these questions, or should they just be silent?
I would advise them to stick to issuing the statement that they are issuing, because that will anyway be on public record as soon as this case comes to trial. So,
Right.
in a sense, framing that, giving a context to it, and adding their statements, being minimalist about it, and
Yeah.
communicating only in the written text is my advice in such situations to all clients who I work with.
Mr. Kant, I'm giving you the last word. You've already flagged your biggest area of concern, which is that the pictures are in the public domain. And by the way, it should be said that before this picture, there were other pictures released by other state police forces, turned out to have nothing, no connection with this. There was a Chhattisgarh image, even we carried it because it was officially released by the Chhattisgarh police, right? So we carried it there, this picture. Now, nobody knows why this picture was released. Is somehow being connected to the case. Till this date, nobody knows why this picture was released, but it was released. So now I want to ask you, what is your concern for the investigation going forward? Given the noise, the politics, the saturation, media coverage, the very divisive and hot potato issue of migration, and these questions being raised, that is the guy on the CCTV actually the man arrested?
See, in this case, like all other big cases which I had chance to investigate, I've named them, you know them very well. I would like
Yes.
to enter the shoes of the police officer, the investigators. I would like to think like them, and I would like to believe. For example, two, three things. Number one, the injuries caused to Saif on the scene of crime, and the injuries which were recorded, and somebody talked about him entering like a lion and being like a hero. I think these things you can't blame Saif for this. And then whatever is on record is on record. See, the injuries caused to him, the kind of injuries and treatment given to him is very much part of the medical record. And that record will
Yeah.
become part of the police case also. In fact, this is
Yeah.
now settled. It can't be changed. So if the police wants to clarify the position, actually they can come out on that. They can say about it. Even the doctors can say about it if required, because that would not be harming the investigation. It is a very innocent
Correct.
kind of situation
Correct.
which is settled and established.
And as Dilip said, it is the only part of the story that is on record. There are only two parts of the story that are on record: the doctor's press conference and the police press conference. These are the
So,
only two
so
parts that are on record.
why allow all these things to go? I mean, after all, the poor man, he suffered severe injury,
Yeah.
and his life was saved according to information we get, and that information is now cast in stone. That can't be changed. So that information can be given out. I think this kind of situation can be clarified by the police. I find no reason why shouldn't police do it. That is one point. Second point
Yeah.
is that as you know, the new criminal laws, there are a lot of changes in it. The
Mhm.
entire investigation that we are discussing should have been video recorded, major part of it should have been recorded differently. Earlier, we used to write case diaries, and case diaries had all kinds of problems. Which,
Mhm.
Barkha, you know, you're also a veteran in
Yeah.
this area. So now,
Yeah.
now case diary, apart from case diary, there is something video recording, there's something audio recording. I'm sure before this person was taken to the place where the remaining portion of the knife was recovered, he must have been taken
Mhm.
to the scene of crime. He would have been taken, should have been taken, and would have been taken in the proper time of custody from the home, from the flat. And from the flat, he would have been taken all over, wherever he was found. How did he enter, for example? How was he coming out from the toilet when the maid saw him coming out of toilet
No,
in
no,
the
and
boy?
also, sir, sorry to interrupt you, but Mr. Khan's statement says that he tried to or he locked this intruder. Now, if he locked this intruder, you see, I have been obsessed with how this man left the building. I do not understand. Okay, he entered the building unnoticed. That can happen. It's a lapse. After a knifing squabble with somebody, how does this man leave? He's not even running. How there's no sign that he has had a bloody battle with somebody. How does he leave? And if he was locked into a room, how did he leave? There is some record. It was through an AC shaft. Somebody says he climbed a pipe. I feel the police should, whatever they
His
know,
visit,
should say.
Barkha, let me clarify the position. Let us travel with the police officer and the accused, as it might have happened. Now, as correctly said, that very long police custody is not required, but then certain police
Yeah,
custody demand is called for in a case like this, even ordinary case like this. So
yeah.
his entire movement and his confrontation with, let's say, Saif Ali Khan and Kareena and the family members who are supposed to be witnesses, he being taken to, because the statement made before a police officer, the confession is not admissible. But the recovery of a fact, recovery of the weapon from the scene of crime under previous section 27 of Evidence Act is very much admissible. So all that has been done already. If it has been done
Yeah.
already, police should have been on a very firm ground. These speculations can be clarified by the police if the police has done all this. If the police is convinced through confrontation with witnesses that he is the man, if the police has
Yeah.
recovered the weapon, the remaining part of weapon, if the police has taken these people, this gentleman, to the scene of crime and seen all those things, police should have been very, very confirmed and clear about it. And maybe in certain kind of statement, police can clarify these positions. All this going on, the police has to decide what is that they should not speak, but what is that they should speak. Because in high
Yeah.
profile cases, in big cases, public domain cases, the police have a role to play on
Yeah.
both the sides. How much to
Well,
conceal
well,
and how to.
Well, I will say that there were many ifs, and there was a whole mile-long ifs. If the police has done this, if the police has done that, if the police has done this, and the judge has agreed to give police custody for 5 more days for the man accused of this crime. His lawyer is building a case to say that the man on the CCTV and the man arrested are different. Amod Kant, as a veteran, says they don't look the same, but only forensics can settle that. And the second and the more important point is, has this accused been brought face to face with either his victims or others who may have seen him go in and out of the building? That would be critical. We'll leave it there. Sanjay Jha, Dilip Cherian, Sushil Vyas, Amod Kant, a pleasure. Thank you and see you soon.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.